Welcome fellow gamer, I'm Dune Mountain, and in today's video we are going to explore some tips and tricks that will help you win more gunfights and help you discover some less known game mechanics that will definitely improve your skills. Arma is known for having a lot of game mechanics that gives you the control to how you wanna play this game, and after this video you will enjoy playing Arma Reforger even more. So get into this chopper that is going to take off right now. One. Did you know that you can adjust the height when crouch? Well, you can. You just have to stay in a crouch position and hold the left control key and scroll the wheel mouse up to go higher or scroll the wheel mouse down to go in a lower position. This mechanic is very useful when you need to peek behind the cover position without showing yourself or to be sure that your enemy doesn't see you behind cover. 2. You can also adjust the leaning angle when you lean left or right using the same method for crouching. You just have to hold leaning left or right depending which way you want to lean, and hold the left control and use the wheel mouse up or down to adjust the angle of leaning. Like crouching, adjusting the angle of leaning can be useful when picking angles without showing yourself too much. 3. When you are trying to install an attachment in your weapon and the game doesn't allow you, sometimes this can happen because you have a similar attachment already installed in your weapon. In that case, you must detach the attachment on your weapon by going on your soldier menus, select your weapon, and click the I key to open the weapons menu, and drag the attachment to your inventory. Or you can also hold the R key to inspect your weapon and select detach your attachment. After that, if the new attachment that you want to install is compatible with your gun, you will be able to install it. Arma doesn't change attachments automatically by dragging on the weapon. You always have to do it manually. 4. Arma Reforger has a complex weapon system, and sometimes you have to really dig to find specific information. For example, to find the ammo type of your weapon you have two options: or you go to your inventory, put your cursor above your weapon and tap the E key. Select your mag and you should be able to see the ammo type next to the mag info label. Or the second option is holding the R to inspect your weapon, and you just have to use the mouse to aim for the mag and the ammo type will appear. 5. If you want to take some extra ammo, instead of entering into the ammo station and go all the way down to the ammo section and find the ammo type that you need to drag to your inventory, you can simply scroll down until you find the option Refill Ammo in the first menu of the ammo depot, and in the process lose less time restocking ammo. 6. In Arma you have day and night cycles, and at night you can be faced with some visibility challenges. For that, normally you have to use night vision goggles. But many players don't know that it's possible to adjust the brightness of your night vision goggles. For doing that, you have to equip the night vision goggles using the N key. Next, hold the left shift key and at the same time scroll up or down on your wheel mouse. It's a very useful mechanic when you have to pass from a completely dark area to a place with some light and vice versa. 7. When you use a vehicle to go near an enemy camp, you should stop a couple of meters before the enemy camp, so that the enemy doesn't hear you approaching. But don't forget to stop the engine of your vehicle. If you forget to stop the engine of your vehicle, if an enemy passes by, he will be able to hear your vehicle. But be careful, because until now there is a bug in some servers that when you stop the engine and you exit your vehicle, the engine starts again by itself. At least the first time that you stop the engine after spawning a new vehicle. After that first bug and you stop the engine again a second time, it should work correctly. 8. In Arma Reforger, you can see the game tags of your team when they are close enough. But after a certain distance, the names disappear. And your only way of being sure that someone is a friend or an enemy is by looking at the map or see if they have the armband of your team. But something that many players don't know is that you can also adjust the distance that you can see your team game tags. By pressing Ctrl and Home key, you should be able to change the range of the tag settings to have more range, and be able to see your team tags far away. But this option doesn't work with all servers, only the servers that let you adjust these settings. 9. When you spawn a new vehicle, you can choose to let someone else of your team getting in the vehicle or not. By default, the vehicle comes locked and only you can enter the vehicle. But if you want to give a ride to some teammate, you just have to look at the door of the vehicle and scroll down the menu options until you find one option that says Unlock Vehicle and press F. But be careful, because after unlocking the vehicle, anybody can enter the vehicle and even take your place as a driver. 10. When choosing a base to spawn, you may first consider what do you want to do after the spawn. Because if you are traveling to another place and you need a vehicle to travel, first see if there is enough supplies to spawn that vehicle. Sometimes bases have enough supplies to spawn you, but not enough to spawn a vehicle. And you can find yourself in a situation where you spawn in a base and you have to choose between traveling on foot, that normally takes eons, or redeploy again, wasting time and supplies. 11. When on foot, be careful where you try to hide, because the majority of the vegetation in Arma Reforger disappears after 50 meters, if your video settings are configured to lower specs. That said, in your screen you may be prone and fully camouflaged on the grass, but for an enemy at 50 meters you are just a dude prone in an open field and fully visible. In the majority of cases, your only way to hide is by using trees and some tall bushes that are fully rendered and always visible at longer distances. So in Arma Reforger, trees and bushes are your best friend. 12. If you are trying to take down an enemy vehicle with an RPG, you should be really careful. You should know that vehicles have specific places that can cause more damage than others. For example, some vehicles take more damage in the engine, others in the gas tank, but I will make a full guide about vehicle damage in a future video. And in case that you are interested about that, you can always subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to receive notifications about future videos. But until then, only engage vehicles that you are sure that even if you can't destroy or incapacitate the driver with one hit, that they can't retaliate with heavy weaponry. 13. When choosing a scope for your weapon, first you should know that some scopes allow you to zero the scope to certain distances and other scopes not. You can see that in the lower right corner of your screen by seeing if you have the 100 meter mark. If you choose one scope that allows zeroing, you can use the rangefinder and change the zeroing accordingly. Like that, you can always aim directly on the target without the need of compensate for the distance. But if your scope doesn't allow zeroing, you will have to aim higher your crosshair to compensate for the distance if necessary. But don't worry, even if your scope doesn't allow zeroing, all scopes come with markings that help you make that compensation. 14. When you create a new loadout for your character, don't forget to save it. If you forget, after dying you will have to start all over again. To do that, you just have to scroll down on the armament station menu until you find Save Loadout and hold the F key. You can save 3 different loadouts. In the same menu you can also find Load Loadouts, in case that you need to change your loadout. The name of the saved loadouts will be created automatically, and it always takes the name of your main weapon as the name of your saved loadout. 15. When you enter a server that you have already played and you already have created and saved your own loadouts, you don't need to spawn and go to the armament station to choose or change your loadout. For doing that, before spawning, you can change your loadout under your character's model on the right lower corner of your screen, saving you time and resupplies to your team. 16. One good tip to know if your base has an enemy nearby is by noticing if you gain experience for defending your base. The bases have an area if an enemy is inside, it can start capping the objective. Only and only if the number of enemies inside the base are greater by one player than the defending team. So if you are alone on a base and you start receiving experience for defending the base and the base is not being captured, you have one enemy close. But if you are on a base with 2 friends, that makes a total of 3 friends on that base. And if you start receiving experience for defending the base, you can have between 1 and 3 enemies. In this example, only if there was 4 or more enemies in the base that the capping of the objective would start. You can see the capping status on the upper side of your screen. 17. In Arma Reforger, you can heal and revive teammates. But sometimes you can die helping a down friend because healing a teammate takes a lot of time. But to ensure that you can heal a fallen teammate without the risk of dying yourself, you can carry your teammate to a safe place by scrolling down the injury menu and select carry to carry your friend out of the danger zone. And once you have found a safe place, hold left control and X to put them on the ground. And now you can start healing your friend in a safe place. 18. Never forget to confirm a kill. What I want to say is, when you shot down an enemy, it does not guarantee you a kill. In a great majority of cases, the enemy is just down or on a shock state. And being in that state, the enemy can be revived or even come back by itself. And in that case, the same enemy that you shot down, now he knows from where he was shot from, and he can come back for you and kill you. So every time you down an enemy, try to send a couple of extra shots to confirm the kill. Normally, when you try to confirm the kill, if the body of the enemy moves again after being shot to confirm the kill, that means that he's really dead. 19. Another not that well-known armor mechanic is that you can use a teammate or an object to mount or rest your weapon and gain better stability and have less crosshair sway. This mechanic is very useful if you have nearby a teammate or an object that you can rest your weapon, and at the same time you have an enemy far away from you, or if you have to do a precise shot with a sniper rifle. For using this mechanic, inspect your weapon and unfold the bipod on your weapon if you want to be in a higher stance. If not, you can simply press C once you are next to your teammate or object. But not all objects will let you mount or rest a weapon, so you really have to test by trial and error. 20. All AK-based weapons, such as the AK-74 or the RPK, use the same magazine profile, but some mags like the one for the RPK can hold 45 rounds, but the mag for the AK-74 only holds 30 rounds. So if you are playing on the Soviet team, and if you are playing with the AK-based weapon, take the 45 bullet mag. That will work for all AK weapon system, adding an extra 15 bullets per mag. That will give you an advantage in game. And that's all the tips and tricks for this video. Tell me in the comment section if these tips and tricks helped you, and if there was one that you didn't know about. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and if so, please consider to leave a like or dislike in the video. And if you want to see future content and streams, also consider to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to receive notifications about future videos and streams. And I will see you on the next one, but until then, have a nice day, good gaming, Toon Mountain out.